Hey guys, JJ here, and today we got a brand new trailer for the upcoming Resident Evil 7 Gold Edition, which features the upcoming DLC End of Zoe and the action-packed DLC featuring Chris Redfield titled Not a Hero. The trailer itself is only about 2 minutes long, but there's a lot of details packed in and the introduction of a brand new character. If you have not seen the new trailer, I'll leave a link down in the description. Alright, with that being said, let's get right into it. The trailer starts off with a flashback from Resident Evil 7 featuring the choice you had to make between giving the serum to Mia or Zoe. This flashback basically shows that giving the serum to Mia is the only canon option and makes the whole choice even more pointless. Zoe is then encased in molded crust by Evelyn, and we flash over to Lucas Baker. Lucas is on the phone with someone asking if it's ready and if we can begin. This is interesting because Lucas uses the word we, showing that he may not be the only person Chris Redfield is dealing with in the Not a Hero DLC. Also, if we go back just a bit, we see a brief glimpse of Lucas picking up the phone in first person. I wonder if maybe we'll be able to play segments of the Not a Hero DLC from Lucas's perspective. I think that would be pretty cool. Now we flash over to Chris Redfield and his team directly after the events of Resident Evil 7. The chopper lifts away with Ethan and Mia, and we hear Chris's intelligence assistant Veronica over the radio. Chris explains that they rescued Ethan, which means Ethan had some importance to the new Umbrella team Chris is working for, and we most likely will be seeing more of him in the future. Veronica then explains the importance of capturing Lucas Baker because he's the only link to their connections. We get some new glimpses of gameplay from the Not a Hero DLC, showing off some of the underground mine shafts and some very new and interesting lab-like areas, much more reminiscent of the Umbrella Laboratory and the original Resident Evil games. Lucas is said to have taken over the underground facility and has turned it into his own personal hideout, where he is running his own experiments with the E-type bioweapons, which means he's probably responsible for the new white molded we'll be facing. We also see Lucas's clown logo throughout the trailer, showing us locations where we may be interacting with Lucas or his traps. A blue Umbrella logo pops up once again in Chris Redfield's HUD, reminding us he's working for a company with the same name as a company he swore to take down. I'm really looking forward to an explanation for this. The official Resident Evil press site mentions the veteran BSAA soldier Chris Redfield, which means Capcom has confirmed he's no longer a BSAA soldier. Veronica then explains that 3 of their best agents have gone missing, and we flash to what looks like one of the agents rigged up into one of Lucas's traps. Most likely Chris will be tasked with freeing these soldiers by completing some sort of Saw-like puzzle rigged up by Lucas. We then see a lot of the same molded we've seen 100 times in Resident Evil 7's main campaign, but then we get a nice boulder punch by our hero Chris Redfield. He's not a hero! Sorry, I mean by our anti-villain Chris Redfield, which basically turns the molded into paper mache and confetti. I want to make note Lucas calls Chris Christopher right here. It's not important, but I thought it was funny. Moving on. A lot starts happening. We see a big molded creature drop out of a large sack on the ceiling, which shows us a new enemy that most likely will be a boss battle. Then the large entrance of the mine closes, entrapping Chris and his team. Most likely this will take place towards the beginning of the DLC. Again, we see a clown logo over in the bottom left, which indicates one of Lucas's traps. I should note the team getting entrapped in the mines and Chris's former team going missing is very reminiscent of the first Resident Evil game. Lucas then attacks Chris with a knife and violently slashes at him, while Chris regains control of the situation and pulls his pistol on Lucas. This most likely kicks off the battle between Lucas and Chris, as referred to by David Vaughn, the voice and mocap actor for Chris Redfield that we recently interviewed for the Row podcast. David had a lot of very interesting details he shared with us about the Not a Hero DLC that I'm currently working on a video for and will be releasing later this week. So for some behind the scenes details, stay tuned for that. It doesn't look or sound like Lucas makes contact with Chris while he's swinging the knife, which makes me wonder if he's just toying with Chris in this scene or if Chris is just really doing a good job defending himself. That ends the trailer portion of Not a Hero, and we flash over to the End of Zoe DLC. Zoe is lying on the ground, completely covered in what was once molded crust but now looks to be more crystallized. I wonder if this has anything to do with the white molded. Maybe this is just what happens after being encased for a long period of time. We then see the brand new character named Joe. Capcom released a brief summary on Joe. He's explained to be a mysterious outdoorsman who lives along the bank of the marshes. This explains why he finds Zoe washed up on the banks of the river. He then says, "We're going to fix this, Zoe. You're my family." This has a lot of people speculating that maybe this Joe character is a relative of Zoe. He does share a resemblance to Zoe's father, Jack Baker, and also seems to be around the same age. This could make them brothers, and Joe would be Zoe's uncle. In the new screens released by Capcom, it shows Joe carrying Zoe possibly to safety, and around his neck is dog tags, a peace sign, and a bullet. This tells us he is for sure a veteran and has military experience. Because of the peace sign, it's most likely he was in Vietnam. Zoe's father, Jack, was also in the military, and maybe Jack served around the same time as Joe, making them friends, and that's why Joe refers to Zoe as family. This also shows that Joe not only is good with surviving in the outdoors, but he's highly trained with firearms, and most likely has a collection back at his house. With all the training and experience Joe has, it's extremely likely we'll be playing as him while he tries to find a cure for Zoe. He'll be fighting his way through the marshes, possibly down to the labs, to find the cure. This could mean we could have a run-in with Chris Redfield at some point. That would be very interesting. Another thing I want to point out on this photo is that there is a large amount of helicopters approaching, which means more than likely far more companies besides Blue Umbrella are involved in this, and we could get a lot of people that are coming over to clean up the incident. I wonder if Joe will be facing off against more enemies other than the molded. Maybe soldiers? I think so. This would be an excellent way to add new enemies other than the same old molded we've been facing throughout the game. That's all I have to cover today, but I want to know what you guys think. What do you guys think of the new Joe character? What do you think about possibly fighting soldiers? Sound more interesting than the molded, or is it too close to making a COD clone? Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this breakdown, please drop a like, and for more trailer breakdowns, news, giveaways, live streams, and the Row Podcast, make sure to subscribe. The Residents of Evil is now a Patreon supported channel, so if you would like to see your name here in the credits or get some really cool perks, head over to patreon.com/Row Network. That's ROE Network. A link will be down in the description. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you back at the Residents of Evil.